All right, welcome to everyone that's just joined in and tuned in to Brilliant Directories Webinar Wednesday. My name is Jason, one of the co-founders here of Brilliant Directories there on the top left, and we're lucky to have the whole gang with us today. We got Patrick and Gabe on the line to help us answer your questions. So Patrick and Gabe, welcome and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Great to be back.
Happy New Year, everybody. Great to be back, too.
Thanks, guys. All right, if this is your first webinar with us, I always encourage you to also join our LinkedIn Marketing Strategy Network. It's a great place to continue any of the discussions that we have here on Webinar Wednesday. If for some reason we're unable to get to your questions, you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/LinkedIn. It's free to join the group, and you can participate and start your own conversations and discussions there as well. And if this is your first Webinar Wednesday with Brilliant Directories, welcome. You are now part of a sacred tradition that started last year in 2017 in January. We've done over 30 Webinar Wednesdays. Our goal here is to help you as much as we can with your website projects. Any questions are fair game. You can ask questions about setting up your website, how to market your website, getting members signed up. Sometimes we dive into the code a little bit if there's a higher level, more advanced question that comes out. We can also talk about discussions and strategies on how to perhaps generate more leads through your websites or optimize your website for search engines. If we're unable to answer a question, that's not a problem. We will do our best to point you in the right direction, maybe provide you with some resources that could provide you with some better answers. So welcome. It's great to be with you guys here today. And from the entire Brilliant Directories family, lots of warm hugs and kisses and good feelings, vibes, and energy. It's almost 9 years now that we're operating Brilliant Directories. Our total focus is on the Brilliant Directories software. And it's because of you guys that have joined us here today that really make it all worthwhile. And one thing I like to say about Webinar Wednesday is we learn from each other here. We're able to provide you guys with some information, but we also get some amazing and fantastic feedback from the types of questions and even feature requests and observations you guys have about the software. So thank you, Patrick, Gabe, and the whole Brilliant Directories family. We want to wish you a productive and successful 2018, and we'll be here as many times as possible doing Webinar Wednesday throughout the year. And with that, we're going to start off the year with a huge contest with an opportunity to win $500 in Brilliant Directories credits that you can use for additional websites, if you want add-ons, if you want to purchase training sessions, whatever it might be. It's super simple, and I think this is a really fun and constructive contest because we're all going to be able to share some of our goals and resolutions for the new year, for 2018. It's really simple. Everyone here on the webinar today, you can go to our Facebook page. You can go to facebook.com/Brilliant Directories. You can also search for Brilliant Directories if you're logged into Facebook. And I'll go to the post right now. All you have to do is like, comment, and share our most recent post. And we're going to keep it up there for a couple days. And if you can, after the webinar, and I'll go here with you, you'll be able to see it. It has a big orange light bulb with 2018 here. And the question is, what goals should a successful online business set in 2018? These could be your goals for your business, maybe some ideas you have that might just be helpful for any type of online business or a directory website more specifically. And what you can do is scroll down, and Patrick's already left a comment here with some ideas about improving your knowledge with some business books. And you can do all three of these: like, comment, and share. And next webinar, we'll choose a random winner who will receive $500 in Brilliant Directories credits. So you can do that now, or you can wait till the end of the webinar. Just go to facebook.com/Brilliant Directories. We'd love to see your comments and really just get everyone's opinion and ideas on how to make 2018, the most productive and best that it can be. All right, and this week's tip of the week, I'm going to pass over the controls to Patrick, but we want to cover a topic about how to create a professional logo. Brilliant Directories has a pretty effective way to create a logo for yourself by adding your text and choosing from a good number of icons, and also choosing your colors in the design settings. But if you want to establish your brand and really find a personality for your business, having a professional logo created really sets the bar a lot higher for the value of your brand. The problem is it can be expensive to find a logo. You really don't know what to ask for or what direction to go in. But Patrick has found, like he does, an amazing tool that can help take the burden and hurdles away from creating a professional logo away and make it a lot easier. And the solution we found is logojoy.com. There are other ways to make logos online, but we found this one, and Patrick showed it to me earlier this week, and I fell in love with it myself. The benefits are you can build your own logo relatively quickly. There's thousands of variations and options to choose from. You just kind of input a little bit about your brand, and it gives you all the options possible. And it's very affordable if you want to complete your purchase to buy your logo. So it saves a lot of back and forth from working with maybe a graphic designer, which is you might have a graphic designer who's a friend or works in-house. This is another way to help maybe crowdsource or to generate some ideas for your logo. So I'm going to pass it over to Patrick to show you guys how you can take your brand to the next level by creating a professional logo.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much, Jason. And yeah, when you pass the control over to me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a website that I know a lot of people on this webinar are familiar with because we've used this for multiple different occasions, and that's our interior design demo. We even had a master class, Jason, where we built this from scratch. And what you can see in the top left corner, this is a really good tool that Brilliant Directories has. It's a logo maker, and that's what we use to build our website. I think it's a great thing to get your website up and running, get a logo up there so you can get the first people signed up. I wouldn't necessarily focus too much on the logo at the beginning stages. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this website as an example, and we're going to use LogoJoy and see how quickly we can come up with really professional ideas to take our logo to the next level. And then I'll discuss some options that you have in terms of what you can do with your ideas that you've just generated. Just for those of you, in case you're curious, where did I go to create this logo? I just logged into the administrative panel, and under the settings and design settings, we're able to right away see an option to do the logo design. So that's where you see the logo title and the logo slogan. So now let's go on to the tool that we want to use, which is LogoJoy. So what you're asked is to pick 5 or more logos that you like. Their logo generator is going to take your insight into consideration. So I'm going to choose 5 logos at random here, just for the sake of this, and then we're going to click on continue. Then it's going to ask you to select a color scheme that you like for your particular logo. So perhaps I'm going to want to have a grayscale logo in this instance. Then it asks you to put in your company name. We're going to put an interior design demo, and then we're going to put in the slogan, which we have currently below the logo. One thing I like about this is it should have some examples with and some examples without the slogan. Then we'll click on continue. You can search for an icon, or you can skip it. So if you wanted to put like waitress, and you click search, you'll see that it's going to get a bunch of icons that match that particular word. So it's very helpful. They have an incredible amount of resources. So if there's one that you like and say, oh, I really like this, I'd like that to have that incorporated in my logo, you can go ahead and do that as well. In this instance, I'm just going to skip this step. It allows you to add up to 5 icons if you like, but I'll go ahead and skip it. Now what it's going to do is going to go to work for us. It's going to start generating the logo with all of the data that we've inputted in it. It's pretty quick, as you can see below. It doesn't take long for it to generate. And there's a couple of things that I like about it. One is you'll get to choose one example out of the ones it generates. If you don't like one, you can continue generating more. And then when you really like one, you'll be able to see what it would look like on a t-shirt, on a billboard, what would it look like on a coffee mug, and so forth. So we're gonna go ahead and scroll down, and you're gonna see that there's some really unique, really interesting designs. For example, this one here really stands out for me, the one with the gold, and I think that that would look really good on certain websites. Or this one here is a little lighter. Jason, do you have one that you prefer between the two, the gold or the red?
No, I like the gold one actually, with that icon, and I'm assuming they're showing you random icons where you could have maybe pre-selected some icons that you liked. Like I like that one too with the honey, the bees. What is that? Butterflies or bees?
Bees, yeah, those are the bees. And then as you can see, as we scroll down, like Jason's mentioning the icons, you can see they always give you some that don't have any icons. And as you continue scrolling, they give you more and more variety. It really is endless. And eventually, if you want to have something more formal, this is extremely formal, for example,
And
you really can get very creative with this.
what are those options at the top there? You can change colors, or what is that?
Yeah,
for?
you could exactly. You can change colors, you can add symbols and so forth. That's exactly what you could do. So if you want to see more variations, you can. And then you can click to see your changes, and it'll start giving you more variety in terms of your color palettes with the same logo.
Wow. Yep. I'm still amazed. It's just
Yeah, so
even if you're just looking for ideas, if you have someone else who might be making your logo for you, this is a good way to extrapolate some concepts and ideas.
exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one, the gold one. Why not? So we're going to go ahead and click on Edit Logo. We'll select it. That's strange. I don't know why it's not letting me edit the logo.
It's because we're on the webinar, and obviously it
Of course.
doesn't want to work when we're on the webinar.
Of course, of course. So I'm not sure why it didn't show you. Unfortunately, it just didn't work that one time. That's very, very strange. Let's see if we can get it working again. We'll share this this webinar with them. All right. The other thing I wanted to show, and let's see, I'm not sure why it didn't work, is I wanted to show all the different layouts, and then I wanted to explain, I guess while it's generating, I'll explain the different ways you can use this. LogoJoy does sell these logos, so you can go ahead and purchase the logo straight from LogoJoy. Another thing that what I usually do is I have designers that I work with on Fiverr.com, for example, and what I do is I give them this and I say, I like this logo. I like this look right here. Can you please design three variations of this particular design? So they take it to the next level, and maybe they give me different color options and so forth. But instead of going to Fiverr and they'll ask you on Fiverr or different websites where you can hire a third-party designer, they'll say, what's your company name? What's your slogan? What kind of logo would you like? It'd be really amazing if you can give them something really close to exactly what you want. In this case. But yeah, Jason, as you can see, unfortunately, I have no idea why it's not allowing me to edit this particular logo. Very, very strange that I'm not able to.
No, that's okay. Let me grab the controls real quick, and let's see if I can get it, because it's cool to see to see the end product. So let me quickly choose some options here. I'll just
all right, very cool.
Choose a few options here, and one more. There we go. And I'll just do it real quick. I'll choose the pink one since that's what the website was like.
Perfect.
Interior design demo, and then find top design ideas here and now. All right, and let's continue. Let's see if it's, we'll just skip the step, and I'll just quickly choose one. So cool. All right, so it says it's going to load in 2 seconds. There we go. All right, so let's choose this one right here. Edit logo. There we go. So why don't you walk me through what I can do here now? Okay, so now I see some options of like choosing.
Yeah, and you could scroll down if you want to start seeing what it looks like on different layouts. That's what I like doing.
Ah,
You could keep scrolling and seeing what it looks like on a business card. What does it look like in different areas on your site? What does it look like on an app? I really love that they do this.
wow.
What does it look like on a billboard? Yeah, so it's good to see. Well, no, that font looks too small on an app, right? That slogan's too long, perhaps, or let's not have the slogan. So it gives you the different perspectives.
Gotcha. All right, and then I'll just choose this one. Oh, here's a door. Well, that's nice. And then, yeah, once you find what you like, you can click buy. I also want to mention we're not affiliated with LogoJoy. We just thought it was a really super cool tool. If you really like the logo and this is the one you want for your business, I would recommend at least starting with the $65 one, because it does give you all the versions of the logo that you would need to then put on any type of branding materials that you need. The $20 one is just a low resolution logo. But yeah, I think that's it. So if you guys are ready for a professional logo for your site, LogoJoy is one option. I'm sure there's other ones out there. You can Google, free logo maker or online logo maker. But this is a great way to create ideas and also to actually get a logo for your business. If you don't know where to get a logo made, now you know. Thank you for sharing that, Pat. Super, super helpful.
My pleasure.
I'm randomly on our Brilliant Directories site here. Might as well mention it. If you ever want to watch our replays, you can go to brilliantdirectories.com. If you hover over the community tab, in the bright orange button, there's free workshop videos. And we try to post the webinars as quickly as possible. Here's the webinar from January last year, 2017. And you can scroll all the way down to watch all the webinars. And so far, I think we have 30. This would be number 31. All right. So, logojoy.com, check. Time to get to the important part of Webinar Wednesday, our favorite part, which is helping you guys with your websites. All right. I see, David, you've raised your hand. How you doing, David?
Good, thank you.
Where are you calling in from today, David?
Half Moon Bay, California.
Okay. I'm here in Los Angeles, so we're not too far
California,
away.
Half Moon Bay.
Yeah.
Half Moon Bay. It's near San Francisco.
Yeah. So do you have a Brilliant Directories website already?
Yes.
All right. And what's your question for us today?
So I'm thinking about doing some weekly or daily giveaways from some of the free members, or to the free members. And so I want to know if I can tell easily which members have logged in during a specific time period, so I could go in and select one for one of the free giveaways.
I'm going to pass it back to Patrick, because we were just talking about maybe showcasing exactly how to do this right before the webinar. Patrick, do you want to show how to show which members have joined a certain date or their last login was within a certain time frame?
Sure thing.
All right, let me pass it back over to you. All right, there you go.
All right, I'm going to take it in just a second here. I want to find a website that has a couple members that I can at least show this for, make sure we're good. All right, this looks good here, perfect. All right, interior design demo. All right, are you able to see my screen, Jason?
Yep, it's working. So where are we in the admin here?
All right, so I went ahead and we'll go back to the dashboard. And your question, by the way, I love it. That was my recommendation to Jason on what topic to cover in today's webinar. That was what I pushed for. So it's pretty ironic that here we are discussing exactly this tool. I think what you're trying to do is extremely valuable. So we're going to go ahead and click on members. And it's going to take us to the members panel. This tool, and the reason why I wanted to cover it is if you're a marketer, if you like marketing or you know anything about email marketing, this tool is extremely powerful because it gives you a lot of segmented data. The one you just mentioned, for example, was the login date range. And as you'll see here in the top, one of the filters that we have is the login date range. So you can go ahead and pick that. So you could say, I want to know everybody that's logged in from October 1st to October 20, from October 1st to February 28th, and do a search, and it's going to generate the search results and show you all the members. So of course, this is our interior design demo, so it's accurate. Only these 4 dummy accounts have logged in as a profile in the last 4 months on this particular website. Of course, in your case, the login date that you'd be doing would be for today or yesterday, for example, and you always would be able to get the data and know exactly who is the one that logged in. If you ever wanted to email them, and why I like this tool as a marketing tool is you always have this button that's on the right that allows you to quickly export that segmented marketing list, and it's going to download as a CSV. If we go ahead and open this, we're going to have all of the member data available in that Excel document that we've gone ahead and just exported. I'm going to see if it opens up here. It should, because it's LibreOffice. It might take a little while, but I'll go ahead and show that when it's there. So this is one marketing campaign that you could do, what you just talked about. I want to pick a winner, someone that logged in today. You're not necessarily using it for an email campaign, but you may want to do that. What is a campaign that I would run? I would want to send an email to anyone that hasn't logged in the last month. That would be good, and see why they're not active, or anybody that hasn't, maybe even a different email campaign for anyone that hasn't logged in the last 6 months, and let them know what they've missed out in the last 6 months, and not necessarily email the people that are active on my website because they're currently using it and I don't want to disrupt their behavior.
I was also thinking that with people that haven't logged in, I could also send them to a survey page, and to find out why they haven't logged in, and if they complete the survey, then they could also be entered into some kind of a prize drawing.
Exactly. So that would be a great campaign for you to run as well. Get people that have never logged in to actually log in and use their accounts, and give them a prize and a survey. I really like that strategy. Other tools that you have, as you can see here for other people watching, is you're able to filter by the join date. So if you want to have an email list and email everybody that joined in 2016, you can do that. Or if you want to email everybody that joined in December, you can do that. So I find that to be a very helpful segmenting tool for email marketing campaigns. Also, something that's very useful is the categories. If you have multiple types of members, if you have doctors and you have lawyers and you have accountants on your website, on a local directory per se, to have the ability to export all of your lawyers and to send them an email that's specific to the law, to the industry of law, and that caters to what their interest levels are, and you explain to lawyers why your website is useful for them, I find that to be a very helpful tool in marketing. That's something that's very helpful. And another filter, and the last one, although there's a few more here, you have locations and whatnot, the one I like to cover is membership levels, because obviously you'll want to send a campaign to your free members and a different campaign to your paid members. And with this member search tool that you can export, whenever you go ahead and you complete that search, it's going to show you all of the members that match that criteria, and it's just a matter of clicking this button, and as you can see below, it's going to download instantly as a CSV document with all of your member data in there. That is strictly the results that you were able to generate.
So when you guys, when we log into the webinars, and you usually have a weekly special or something like that, is the purpose of the special to encourage people to log in on a regular basis, and so do you find that really works as a revenue generation tool? Because I'm thinking that same thing, if people are, let's say they're paid members and they're logging in on a regular basis, I could give them, I don't know, whatever, a free month or something like that, or to encourage them to keep visiting the site, both as a paid member, not only as a free member.
We've done some presentations. User engagement is very important for your websites, and also daily active users. For example, how many times a day do some of you log into Facebook, just as an example. Incentivizing your members to log in is good, but what's even better than that is giving them a real value added reason to contribute more to your website. What is the reason for them to log in? Are they contributing content to your website? Is contributing content benefiting them personally or their business in any way? The more you can show them, maybe it's through your mission statement or something, but if you can demonstrate to them that by them participating on your site is either going to bring them personal joy or personally benefit their or professionally benefit their business, then they'll be more inclined to participate on your site and engage on your website. And you may not need giveaways and things like that to get them to log in. So the first question would be is what's the motivation for them to log in? What are they going to get out of it, and what are they going to do when they log in? And the better you can outline that and the more tempting and appealing you can make that, then it's going to be easier for you. They're going to start logging in more frequently without you needing to prompt them to do so each time.
Right, Jason. If with that search tool, is it possible to tell which members, particularly the paid members, which ones have added content, whether it's a blog post or video or whatever? I mean, can I tell from that search how much they're not only logging in, but are they actually contributing to the growth of the site?
There isn't a way from that search. Pat, can you think of a workaround to find out? Maybe it would be in the when you're managing your post content. There's an area where you can see all the things that have been published. You can see design portfolios here, events. This is all the different types of content that's on your site, published by.
It does show you the level as well, Jason. So you do have a pulse on it, what levels they are and who they are that are publishing the content. So you do have that view, but it's not an exportable CSV document.
So you can
search it by level.
What's that?
Can you search it? This screen, can I search by level to see which, if they're what kind of member they are, what membership level that is actually posting?
Yeah.
No, the only thing you can filter by on this page is the actual names and titles.
Type in contributor. Right. Type in contributor there, Pat. I want to see.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to see. I think it is reading the subscription.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if you type in like active it's searching that. So you can actually type in any of the words you see here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Whoops.
Was that not working?
Maybe not active, but not the active, but that contributor, yes.
Are we getting a false positive on that? Or maybe because it's a capital A. Maybe it's case sensitive. No, that's not why. But anyways, this is a good place. This is like your command center for content here that your members are publishing. So you can see, the different types of content and who's publishing them. And what's really cool here is if you go under the actions drop down for one of the links, if you click on the actions drop down next to edit, you can go to the live page, you can delete it, and you can even, if you see errors in what your members have posted, you can it'll log you in to edit and fix the content. Maybe someone misspelled something and you can fix it that way. So this is a really cool area as well.
And can I share my personal recommendation for marketing campaigns since it's in line with what you're talking about? So one contest that I really like and I think members respond to well, and it serves multiple different purposes, is to educate them on the type of content they can post. I find one of the biggest, and we do cover this topic quite a bit, one of the bigger challenges I see with people launching new websites is they launch with all the Brilliant Directories features like this one you're seeing here. And then what they do is they're behind the 8 ball, right? They have to create all the content to create all of the different features. What I recommend doing is you launch your website with 1 or 2 features similar to what you're seeing here. And then what I would do is I would send an email campaign to all of my members. And the contest would be to add how-to design videos. And you would select your favorite how-to video that's recorded by a member. You're going to feature it on the homepage. You're going to include it in the newsletter. And you're going to give them this. So that newsletter is not only getting your members interested in the content, you're educating them on the type of content they can add on your site, how that's beneficial to their business, getting your content on the website, so filling it out so when someone clicks on view all, they do see a lot of content, and then giving them a prize based on something that's actually increased the value of your website to the general public. And I think that those types of contests are very, very successful at the beginning stages, and it's an educational process at the same time.
All right, great. Thank you, guys. I've been building my websites for my business for years and years, and so the features and the time and effort that have gone into Brilliant Directories just blows me away. So thank you. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you, David. Appreciate that. All right, good question there from David about how to segment members and target them for future marketing campaigns. All right, Jim, I'm going to go ahead and unmute your mic. All right, Jim. Pat, I'm going to pass over the controls to myself again here. All right, Jim, I've unmuted your microphone. Are you with us?
Hey, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir. Where are you calling in from, Jim?
Hey, I'm right here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you just fine. What's your question for us today?
Okay, so I got a marketing question for you.
Okay.
What I've been doing with my website is my target clients would be veterinarians. So my problem is getting through the gatekeeper, right? So the gatekeeper would be like the secretary, right? So what I've been doing is I've gone actually knocking on doors. I've printed out, like 4x6 postcards offering free membership. I've done the cold calls, and I just can't get them to bite. So what I'm thinking is to start, because I want it to be a national directory, right? But I think I'm gonna have to start like at a local level. So I'm thinking maybe if I were to go and start and interview them, knock on the door and do an interview with them, to get them, educate them on my website, and then after that, I'd maybe be able to spark more interest once they see that.
I have a couple of ideas right off the top. I have one in particular that's a little bit less work and maybe more effective in getting through the gatekeeper and kind of scaring the gatekeeper that they have to get the person in charge on the phone. And Jason, you can let me know what you think of this strategy, but I find this to be much more effective. It's a little coy, but that's okay. What I like to do is I like to use the Brilliant Directories. I will create the account on my directory using the claim listing feature, and Jason may or may not want to show that right now. And then what I do is I'll leave a review on their profile. It could be a great review, or depending how aggressive you want to be with your strategy, it could be a negative review. The negative reviews, it may not be the most honest practice, but it is the most effective one because you'll get their full attention if you're helping out their business reputation. Calling them and letting them know that there's a review from their business that's either flattering or unflattering, and you're calling to give them an opportunity to reply to that feature, to that review, and stay on top of their online reputation because of how important it is to have a good online reputation, how much it hurts business if you don't stay on top of that. You're just doing your due practice and your due diligence and giving them an opportunity to do that. I find you get their attention. You can even get through the gatekeeper because the gatekeeper knows that they'll get in trouble if they don't take care of something like that that would affect the business of their boss. More so than saying, I have an opportunity for you to list your business on my website and so forth. That's one strategy. Then there's no interviewing. There's none of that really needs to happen. I like leaving positive reviews because it's a positive conversation. And since it's not really an authentic review, I think it's the least that I can do. But I did want to give you all the strategies that are at your disposal. It just depends what kind of strategy you want to implement.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I have obviously, lots of friends on Facebook and stuff, and they all have pets, so I can just ask them who their vet is, and then I can just get them to leave a review. And that's pretty simple that way as well, too, right?
Yeah, and then you have something to talk about the phone, and you're not. What I find helps is the moment you start a conversation and you say, hey, we're a new website and we want you to list your business on it. It's an opportunity for you to market. You lose them because there's so many opportunities out there. You have to have something that is different than the typical conversation. So I think just sounding like a sales, not a sales rep, but just a customer support agent that's just letting the business know that they have a review on their site. And if they're interested in being able to manage their online reputation through the site, that's a much easier conversation to have initially.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I have some strategies as well. I like Pat's. I think adding them to your site and letting them know that they can, increase their online visibility is really good. Another strategy is once you add them to your site, instead of leaving a review, is to email them and let them know that you've found them as a noteworthy professional in the industry. And I would also gear your mission towards connecting consumers with the most trusted and most experienced veterinarians. And you can start with a local area, like you said, rather national instead of nationally, like in Ontario. So you're making a directory of the top 100 veterinarians in Ontario, and make your selling proposition just a little bit more appealing rather than, hey, we have a directory of veterinarians. Make it sound something just a little bit more grandiose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Jeff Wyatt, who's with us, and I have one more suggestion for you as well, had a website. It was Find Medical, let me go there, Tourism. Let's see if it's still online. Okay, so this is just an older website, and it was doctors outside of, well, he was living in the U.S. at the time, so he was going to South America, countries like Costa Rica, and getting doctors to join his website because people would go find medical procedures outside of their mainland country like the US. What he did is he had an infographic that explained the benefits of joining his site. Pat, what's the site that you make the infographics on?
It's called canva.com.
Canva.com. It may behoove you to create an infographic. And how can I see some samples here, Pat?
If you type in Canva space infographic in a Google search, the link should be there, and you'll be able to see a ton of them. And it's all drag and drop. You can make the most amazing infographics with this particular tool. It takes me about 30 minutes, which is insane, because if you're using a PSD or it would take, if you're building it out of a PSD, it would literally take you hours.
Okay, so what you can do here is build an infographic. It essentially becomes your one-page media kit because you're basically asking them to advertise. But you want to express some genuine benefits that are good for them and the community. Professionals such as medical doctors and veterinarians and dentists and lawyers, they respond better when they're not just promoting their practice in a directory, but they're part of something prestigious, first of all. So make it something prestigious, and also that it's benefiting the community at large. So those are some strategies there. Pat's is, I definitely recommend adding them to your directory no matter what. You can write a review. You can email them letting them know that you've added them to your directory as a significant figure in the industry. And then if you're going to go door to door, which is also good, is what Jeff did with Find Medical Tourism, is have some kind of a professional infographic ready that clearly outlines your mission, what you're doing, and how they can get involved. And
another thing Jeff would do to add on top of that, I love that tip, and I've used it myself, is he would go in, and if he's pitching plastic surgeons, he would have one of the top plastic surgeons have an account on his website, and instead of calling that plastic surgeon to tell him he has an account, he would tell the other plastic surgeons, Dr. Smith's already advertising with us, and I'm sure you don't want to miss out on opportunities as well. And if they know that they have a peer, aka a competitor, that's advertising on your website, you could make them feel like they're missing out on an opportunity rather than having them claim their profile. And that, like Jason just said, doctors, lawyers, accountants, those types of professionals, they know who their competitors are, and it is very competitive out there. So if you leverage that competitive juice, they're not going to want them to have a leg up on them.
And a flip side to that is you can add the competitors to your site and then go in person to the doctor who's not on the site and show him that, hey, your competitors are on the site, you should join as well. I just shared a link in the GoToWebinar chat. This is an email script we used a long time ago. I think it's still valid. It's basically a boilerplate email. And if you're in contact with someone and you want to get in touch with them, this basically encourages them to sign up to your site. And you might want to modify a little bit, but I think it's a good way to kind of break the ice and invite people to your website if you're just starting out. And then with that, I wanted to say lastly, Jim, and Patrick is a big advocate for this as well, is if getting them to start paying becomes a hurdle and none of these strategies are working for you, perhaps you want to just offer a free option for them to get their feet wet and focus on getting your free membership member base built up, and then focus on how to upgrade them at a later time. So you can always do that also.
Okay, sounds great, guys.
All right, thanks a lot for that good question there, Jim.
Yeah, I got two more questions, but I'll just I won't hog the space. I'll let someone else in.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Okay.
All right, good. Thank you, Jim. Jim from Ontario there. All right, let's see here. We'll go with another J name here. Joe, we've unmuted your microphone.
Hi.
How are you,
Hi.
Joe?
Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm finally launching my directory. I've got a couple more directories waiting to be launched, but I'm starting off with this one. It's premcanada.com, P-R-E-M.
All right. Do you mind if we check it out?
Sure, please.
All right. And what's your question for us today?
Question is, I've imported all my members that I've made a list as a CSV file as claim listings. Problem I'm having is using a third-party email server to send out the email. How do I get each member their own profile so when they click on the link, it takes them to claim their own listing?
Perfect. I'll show you how to do that right now. Let me go to a sample site just so we're not using the email addresses of your live members.
Right.
I'll just go to our demo Bootstrap site real quick. So we actually, Pat, do we have documentation on how to merge the website name and the file name of the
We do have an article for that. Do you want me to get that for you real quick and share the link?
Yes, and I'll show just real quick how you would execute that yourself, because it is giving you an Excel Excel printout basically. So remember, you can always watch a replay of this a little later. So let me just do a quick search here. I'll just take everyone who's an active life member. This is good. A lot of the same themes here today. So there's 1,000 of them. I'm just going to export this list. All right, and I'm going to open this list. And when you export the list, you get all the member data for each person. So you can obviously remove anything that you don't want. So in this column, we have the first name, the last name, their email address here, their company name, their phone number, etc., etc. Also, what's exported, a lot of stuff is exported. What you're interested in is what's called the file name. Let me just search for that. And here's the file name column. Okay. I'm gonna delete everything before the file name, just so it's easy to follow. I'll keep their name there. All right. So, and I'll delete everything after the file name. Again, you can, when you're importing into another system, like you can choose what you want. So with the file name is basically their link to their profile. The one thing it's missing is your website URL. You see this says United States, right. So on. So what you want to do is you want to put the full HTTP:// I'm just going to put yoursite.com /, okay? And then what you want to do in the next column, we're going to combine it, and I'm going to duplicate this all the way down. And what you do is, and I'll do this really slowly, do =, in the cell, click on where your website is, and then you want to do an ampersand, and then click on the file name. And now we have a cell that has combined your website URL. I'll zoom out just a little bit so we can see it. So this is, I'll just say your your URL. It's combined your URL with the person's extension here. And if you double click this, so when you're in Excel, you can always double click the little circle here, and it'll copy the rule all the way down. And now you have full URL of your member profiles that you can then use in email marketing campaigns, just like you do like hello first name, hello John. Yeah. Now you can input this into your templates. Does that make sense?
That's perfect. Thank you. That makes it so much easier.
Okay.
I mean, I was up until 4 in the morning trying to figure that out.
I'm sorry about that. That's what Webinar Wednesdays are for. Sorry about that. And hopefully it can be a little easier moving forward. But Patrick, were you able to find that article on this?
I shared it with everybody in the chat, so everybody can view that video as well if they like.
Oh, there's a video. Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Thank you. Just one more question I had. I tried linking because I was going to use MailChimp because I'm really impressed with that. So I tried linking on your link for the MailChimp video, and the link seems to be broken. I can't seem to figure out how to connect the two.
I know what the issue is. Let me share the links with you. One moment.
Okay, thanks.
All right. What are those links for? It's video links.
Yeah, it's a series for MailChimp in particular.
Gotcha. All right.
I'll share the links. I'll share the links in the chat. And I'll put the titles of each one for anybody that's interested in getting those links.
Thank you.
All right.
Much appreciated.
My pleasure.
Thanks for your question, Joe. All right. All right. Let's see who else has some questions here with their hands raised. All right. Seth. Seth, I'm trying to unmute you, but it looks like you're muted on your end. Nope. There we go. How you doing, Seth?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, where are you calling in from, Seth?
Calling in from the Philippines.
Awesome. What time is it there, just out of curiosity?
It is 8:51 a.m.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
All right. What's your question?
I had a quick question about the meta description. So we just recently started doing blog articles on our site. And when we noticed when we shared the blog articles that the description, it was pretty general. It was like, here's a blog shared by, your site name. And I get why you guys do that, because there's other parts of the site where you do kind of want it generic. We wanted to show a preview of the blog article as well, kind of like a quick snippet, maybe like the first 15 words or something like that. We kind of figured out how to do it, but it was messing with the design when we did it. So I want to see if you guys can maybe help me out and show me how we could change that.
Sure. Can we take a look at your site? I'm already going to assume we might have to get into some of the code here, but that's okay. What's your site name?
Okay, so the site is called finditangelus.com.
All right. All right, let me bring that up. Okay, and let's go to the manage posts where we can see the different blog posts. So I see you have 3 blog articles here. Mm-hmm. And let's just edit this one here, the first one. And we'll explain to everyone first what you're attempting to accomplish here. So you've written a blog post here, private investigator in the Philippines. That's fine. Let's look at the preview of it, or the live version of it. Mm-hmm. And okay, you have 60 shares on Facebook, and you have the sidebar on the left. So right now when you're clicking share,
what we did, let me tell you a little bit what we did, and it was kind of a temporary fix, but I don't know if our fix is good for SEO. Okay. Basically, we found the SEO template basically by going in the back end, and I love this tool where you view the website and then you could kind of check out the widgets and also go into the templates. So that's, yep, that was the view we went into. So we found the SEO template and we edited that. Now, what I was saying before is when we put in, it was like, you put in the percentages to put in like a default value. Uh-huh. We put in percentage post content, which actually did what we wanted, but then it was screwing with the design of the site for some reason. So what we ended up doing is we just deleted the meta description, and it was like a temporary fix, because if you look on Facebook, it does show
The first
a preview of the
paragraph.
description.
Right.
Yeah, we like that, but we're thinking from an SEO perspective, if we don't have it actually entered into the template, it might not be a good thing. So we're wondering if there's a way we can actually instruct it to pull like the first 15 words or whatever you guys would recommend.
So I mean, personally, I like what it's grabbing here. I'm sure there's a character limit for how much it's going to show in the preview. It looks like it's attempted to max it out potentially with your first paragraph. So you want it to show less, or you want to show something else? What is the ultimate goal?
I guess the question is, if you go back to the template,
Okay.
can you go to that template? I think you were just there. It was like template 3. Yeah. Do you see how we deleted everything? Like social media description is blank. And then if you go up, also the meta description is blank. Will that be bad from an SEO perspective? Like, for example, if Google is searching for it?
No, it wouldn't be bad. The social media sharing details shouldn't affect your search engine optimization with Google and whatnot. It's just suggesting what should be selected for like the image and the title and the description when you're sharing on social media. So it won't actually affect your search engine rankings of your website, but more social media engagement is showing to help search engine optimization. So having more engaging shareable content, and that's obviously going to be by the titles and the images that you're using. The post is going to get shared more and have more clout. So in that sense, it helps your search engine optimization. But as far as directly affecting your SEO, like how these options here, these
What about the
SEO
meta description though? What about the meta description? Because that was another thing that we deleted.
The meta description is actually more important these days than the meta keyword. I think because people used to just spam keywords, and Google doesn't add too much weight to it. But what Google is doing now also is they'll use your suggested description, but it's just that Google is going to use your suggested description. But if Google reads the content of your page and can piece together a better meta description, let me show everyone what a meta description is actually. So let me just search for this. Let's see if it ranks. I'll just do a search here. Okay. Well, here this is the meta title. If in case anyone's wondering, this is the meta description, and sometimes you can write the description yourself. Sometimes, even if you've written one, Google will override it with what they think is better these days. That's more relevant for the user. But as far as SEO, the description does have more weight than the keywords these days. So having a good quality description is important, more so for getting the user to click rather than just filling it with keywords, if that makes sense.
So do you think it would be beneficial for us to, for example, in the meta description, put what I was describing before, where it's like default post content or something like that?
Yeah, I would do that, but if you have nothing else to put there, you might want to do that. Another thing you might want to do for the description is something like this. Let me show you what you can do. Check out this amazing article about, and then what you could do is put the post title, and then learn about, and then you could put some of your other keywords from here in your general settings. Under settings, the profession name and the industry name. So, like you have Angel City and find it Angel City Classifieds. So you can also inject, you can put more check out this amazing article about so-and-so, learn about profession. I'm just going to use random profession and the latest news about, and then you could do industry, but you can hard code it since you don't need to use the variable, industry today. So you can, your description, what you can do is instead of trying to just use the content, because if you don't have a description, probably Google's just going to use your the article itself as part of the description. But this way you can put your website name in, in here again. You can just make it a little bit more compelling than what the article is saying itself.
Okay. Can we see what that looks like on the front end? Because when I tried to do that, it for some reason was it screwed with the design a little bit, and I just didn't know why that was. So that's why we left it blank.
Okay. Let's try it.
That's great. That's a great tool.
All right. Let me save this. And all we need to do is make sure I spelled profession and industry correct. So is that how you spell profession? 2 S's. Yep, profession. Let me get rid. Okay. Let me grab this. Oh, here's the description.
Yeah, what we were finding with the default one is it said something like, check out the new blog article posted by Find It. It was very kind of dry. So we wanted to spice it up a bit.
Okay, so here is your meta description for Google that I just wrote. It says, check out this amazing article about private investigator in Philippines, case file, whatever. That's good because it's kind of, first of all, your title should have important keywords in it also. So then repeating that in the description or having a variation of it will help you. And then you can see here it says, learn about Angel Cities and the latest news about Find It Angeles classifieds today. Learn more at Find It Angeles. So that will be your. It's not a horrible description, to be honest. It's pretty good. So this is what people will read now for those of you watching in this area here, and it's basically going to give them a little insight into what the article is about. So it's not verbatim what's in the article, it's more encouraging them to read the article. It's a little more proactive in that sense.
That's really cool. Can you look at the blog in the site itself just very quickly?
Okay, you want to see
if anything changed? Yeah, I just want to see if, no, it looks like it's all good. Interesting. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted.
Okay, all right, cool. And honestly, I think that's a killer description right now.
Yeah, I think it actually worked out well. I mean, we'll tweak it a little bit, but that's really, I think that works quite well. Just a very quick question. We do a lot of customizations on our site. Do you guys have a recommendation of how we cannot lose those customizations when you guys do an update? Because I've noticed you guys do these updates, which is awesome, but sometimes we'll lose a customization. Do you guys have like tips in that regard?
So when an update is done, it's usually to the default widgets that haven't been customized on your site. We'll never change a customized widget on your site. So if you're experiencing any issues, it might be that something that's been customized is conflicting with what is now core functionality. The best thing, so we'll never edit your customized code on your site. That will always stay the same. If you're noticing any irregularities on your site after maybe a recent update or just over time, those are the things that you can email the support team on, and they'll try to identify what might be the cause for that. We have a few tools that we use to debug your site and troubleshoot it on our end. So they'll go through the processes and see if it is one of your customized widgets, if it's something that was recently pushed that we should roll back. Sometimes that happens. So communicating with the support team is the best way to let us know that if something's not right on your site, we definitely want to make sure it's working. So
okay, perfect. And we found that it is kind of like a duplicating widget or the widget's overriding. So so we can just communicate with support. That's perfect.
Yeah, they have a protocol to kind of figure out troubleshoot what might be causing your site any problems.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. You want it, Pat? Yeah.
I was going to say they also publish on a weekly basis all the widgets that have received updates. So if you have a site and you want to stay on top of all the updates that are going on, there's a lot of transparency there as well. which a lot of people do. So that's also helpful.
Where can we find that? Where can we find that? Where they
developers.brilliantdirectories.com.
It's at developers.brilliantdirectories.com. Let me go there real quick. Developers.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oops.
And then if you,
that's 1 second. There we go. All right, and then so here's developers.brilliant. I'll share this link with everyone. Okay.
Scroll down, and just for everyone to know, if there was one series somebody wanted to watch, it's actually the one that's in there. But if you look at, it says weekly software update, click on January. There's January's most recent updates, and you can see all the updates that have been pushed, and then below you'll see the actual widgets. Every time a widget, any sort of update that happens to a widget will always be described there, and it'll tell you why they were updated. And then there's a lot of software tools. They're amazing. So if you have a custom widget, you paste the code of your custom widget on the left side, you put the default widget on the right side, and it'll highlight what code is missing. So oftentimes Brilliant Directories may have edited just a single line of code, and you just need to update that in your custom widget, and your custom functionality keeps working as it should. So that's what I personally do. All of my sites are heavily customized, and it's just a quick glance here and see if there's any widgets that I recognize that I may have edited, and if so, just take a few seconds and update the code.
I'm going to share this link in the chat here. It's where people can find weekly updates. All right, all right, Seth, great question. Good thing to cover there, so thank you. All right, moving along, a lot of marketing related questions here today. It's good. It's good stuff. And we will continue with the questions here. All right, Sheila. Sheila's joined us in many webinars. Great to see you. How are you today? You there with us, Sheila?
Did you say Sheila?
Sheila, yes.
Oh, okay, you did say that. Yeah, hi, how are you?
Great. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you. I have 2 quick questions. My site is fidoandme.com.
Okay, let's head on over there.
Okay.
I'll close down some of my windows.
Chicago.
Chicago, all right. How's the weather in Chicago right now?
It's warm right now. Well, warm as in 35, so that's warm for us.
All right. All right, we're at fidoandme.com. Let's check out your homepage here. And what's your question for us?
Okay, so my question is, one of the questions is, when we get to the widgets and things that have been, when you get that flag that says, or that yellow flag that says duplicate, how do I know which one to delete or deactivate?
In your widgets, you want to take over, Pat, here?
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, we can. Let me see if I can. 1 second. Let's go look at the widgets that are in there, and I can explain it. Yeah, so I can go ahead and look at it if you want. I'm on our website as well.
All right, let me pass over.
But basically, it's okay. You can do it. Basically, this is the logic of the duplicate functionality. If Jason scrolls down, I believe you're going to see the default widgets below all the custom widgets. So those are the default widgets. So all of the default widgets have the master code. So when Brilliant Directories releases an update to a widget, which we just looked in the previous question, they're going to only put that code in the default widget. So that's why Jason's able to tell you we're never going to put, and we're going to customize your custom code. Nothing gets pushed to custom widgets. So what this means, the reason it's duplicate is the system is telling you you have customized the widget that has 0 customization code in there, which means it's an exact copy of the master widget. So if you keep this duplicate as a customized widget, when Directory pushes an update to the hero divider, you're not going to get it on your site because you have it as a customized widget. You're not going to receive the update. So it's a detriment to your site to have a duplicate widget customized. The only reason you should customize a widget is because you've actually intended to customize that widget and there's some custom code in there. So oftentimes people customize widgets by accident because they want to look at the code and then they never disable the widget and that widget stops getting updates when it should have been getting updates all along. I don't know if that helps answer the question.
With that said,
yes. So in this,
go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You
go ahead.
I was going to say, with that said, if you do see any yellow highlighted widgets in your customized widget area, you can safely delete those because they're in exact copies of the default widgets. There's no change in your overriding customize. The reason you customize a widget is to override our default code, which a lot of developers like to do. It gives them access to add their own touch to the code. So if it's yellow, it means you haven't made any changes and they're essentially erroneous at this point. You should just nothing is going to change on your website. You should just go ahead and delete all the yellow highlighted ones.
Perfect.
And for those that are scared to delete, even though I agree with Jason, you can delete. I know there's some people that are antsy about deleting. There's an amazing option to disable. So if you want to disable it, what that does, in case anybody's wondering, is it puts the word old, or I believe, what is it? You want to go ahead and disable it, Jason?
Yeah,
we'll see what it does to the actual widget. I think it's going to rename it.
It's going to rename it with the word disabled within the widget. So that widget is disabled. Just give it a second. And now it's red here. So if you're afraid that like Pat said, deleting a duplicate widget because you think there is customized code in there, a good step would be first to disable all of them, see that everything on your site is working as normal, then you can safely delete the customized widgets. Our recommendation is always to not customize widgets as much as possible, but it's obviously a great asset to be able to do that as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then my last question, I hope I can have just one more.
Go ahead.
On my home page, yes, on my home page, I have all my categories showing. I wanted to know, is there a way to just show only the categories that I feel are, well, we have the most data?
Yes.
So let's say, okay, perfect. Can you show me how to do that?
Absolutely. So let me just backtrack just for a moment. What Sheila is showing on her homepage is one of the pieces of content you can showcase on your homepage. She's showing her categories of her website. And where you can do that is in the design settings, homepage layout, and you have a section order. You can actually choose what you want to stream as you scroll down your homepage. So she's showing her categories, coupons, etc., etc. Another cool thing we have is actually options for the section orders. And I think the categories one has the most options. So here are the options: sort by order, ascending, descending, A to Z, Z to A. What you can do is you can go to your categories and go to members, member categories. And do you notice here that you've added numbers here? 1,
yes.
2, 3, 4. So how many do you want to show, for example?
I want to show the ones that have the most members in them. And I tried to do this, and the ones that I didn't want to show, I have them at 0, but it didn't work.
Okay, let's
I probably want to show about 9 of them.
9 of them. All right, I'm gonna delete the ones that aren't in the hundreds. I'm gonna remove the number from here. So
Okay.
they don't all need numbers.
Okay.
Then it's a little bit of a trick here. Then it will only show, and I'll show you why it's going to do that.
So now I know. Now you answered my question, really, because now I understand. I put 0, and I should have just left it blank.
Correct. Or you can set it to a really high number, like 9,000, and then only show 8 results. It'll show the 8 lowest results in that case.
Okay.
So how many do you want to show?
Yeah. About 9 of them.
9 of them. All right. Let me say. I don't know how many I deleted here. Let me save those changes. And then what you want to do is number of results. I think it does in rows of 4. So how about we do 8? So it's an even row of
okay.
4 by 4.
That's fine.
All right. So I'm going to set it to 8 results. And then this is where this comes in handy. Sort by order ascending. So it's talking about the numbers that we just set, the order. So if you wanted to set one to number 1, you can have it in the number 1 position. So let me save these changes.
Okay.
And it just takes a second. Okay. And let's refresh your home page. All right. So now we have 8 results.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
And
got it.
Travel is the first one. And I think what we want, where's travel? Let's see. Oh, it did set these.
Yeah, and travel really doesn't.
It did set those to 0 actually. So what?
Okay.
Actually, that's. Let me leave blank for category. I'm gonna this. We should fix that actually. Categories, sort order, if blank.
All right. So I'm not crazy because I thought I was going crazy when I was doing this.
So let me do this. Let me just set these to like 999. All the ones that are 0 right now, it'll put them out of the range. Because now it's just making them a really high number. It's okay that they're the same.
Okay.
And okay, so let me save that again, and let's give it another shot. The first one should be the boarding and daycare. So let's refresh this. There we go. So now we got the ones in range that we want to show. Boarding and daycare, funerals and griefs. So these are the ones that actually have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the ones you don't want are numbered 999. So they're just way out of the range, and you're only showing 8 of them.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Site looks great, by the way.
Yes, I just launched it right before New Year's, so thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Great question from Sheila. This is great recommendations for when you're saving your sort order from your categories. All right, I think we got time for just a couple more questions here. Blair, I'm going to try unmuting your microphone here. How you doing, Blair?
I'm doing great, Jason. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year to you too.
Just a real quick question, Jason. The site is thestage.com.
All right, let's take a look.
And each day we have a featured artist, music artist of the day, and use the social share to share these profiles. Obviously, the only issue we do have is sharing to Instagram. What I'm trying to do is download a high resolution photo of the artist of the day. And I can't, when I go to the member's profile, I can't I can't download a high resolution photo. Is there a way to go in, even if I go into their profile directly, it still doesn't download in high resolution? So it creates an issue on Instagram.
Gotcha.
You can't share directly.
Because this is the only image size that you're getting is this 162
small.
It's a small image.
Right. And I know there's some ways on our back end to, at least there used to be the seat photos, or so I'm just trying to see if there's a workaround of downloading.
There is. What's the ideal resolution for Instagram?
Boy, I really don't know that. I just know that whatever I download directly from the site is just
okay. I have two. Okay, I have two options that you could. Let me go.
No, I do. If they do have a Facebook link, I do go over there and I can save it. But it's an extra step. If I can just do it right from Brilliant Directories, that'd be great.
Gotcha. So what happens is, and this is actually really cool to share with everyone. So, when the members upload their image, they might upload an image that's 5,000 pixels in size. They might upload an image that's tiny, 10 pixels. It's minute. The system has settings for you that will adjust the size of the image, and that's under settings. And let me see if I recall. I haven't gone there in a while. I think it's under developer tools, image settings. And what you do is you tell the system, hey, when someone uploads an image, bring it down to these proportions. Set it to this maximum width, set it to this maximum height, and that will be the image. That will optimize the web page loading on the site, because you don't want to load large images on your site. That's what takes forever for the page to load. So you set your max width and max height. With that said, we do have, thank you, Jeff and Oscar. Shout out to them. In your image settings, there are a profile photo size, which is what renders on the website, and there is a backup photo size for exactly this purpose, social media sharing. Let's adjust this. And first of all, I think Instagram is a square, correct? Me if I'm wrong.
I don't know if it's yes, it looks like it's a, no, it's not an exact square.
All right. Let's do this. Let me just make it like 1,000, okay? And what is this saying here? It's giving me a warning. The size you chose is greater than the permitted limit for photo images and logos we set on. Okay, maybe we can adjust this. Anyways, let's make it a little bigger here. So 425. The width and height must be set to 200 minimum to comply with social media sharing. The recommended are with a width. Okay. Let's see if we can go. Why isn't this? I guess there's a limit for how large you can go. Let's set it to the highest one. We'll get to that later. So that'll give you an image about this size. Okay. Let's save the changes. And what I want to do is actually get that, show you how you can get that image, the social media share image. So let me make a quick account, and I'll upload an image. So I'm just going to add myself as a member. We can delete this after. We'll do Jason at jason.com. So the first question we had was adding members, the veterinarians. This is how you can manually add a member to your site, by the way, guys, from the admin. I'll just create a platinum membership, and I'll log in. I'll just add some basic info. Jason, type of artist, music, and I think I'll just save the changes there. And now we'll upload an image. I see you're using the cover photo. Is that from the customization experts?
Yes.
Awesome. They make some amazing add-ons and plugins. So let me upload a profile photo from my computer. I think I have the new thing we shared on Facebook here. So this is a relatively large image.
Okay.
And I'll just pull it to the max here, and then we'll save it. What I want to see is what the social media share size is and how I can get that, how you can get that. So now I'm going to, oops, save that again. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's go view my profile now. Hey, look, how quick is easy is it to make a profile? So this is the small image. So let's view this image. This is 162 by 216, and it's scaled to fit the allotted space here on the design of the page. Let me look at the source code. This is what we looked at earlier also. Social media metadata. Okay, so there is an image here. I'm going to take this URL. This is what's being shared on social media. You don't see it on the live site. It's just embedded into the code of the site. Let's go to this image. Oops, copy it, paste it. All right, so this is the image. So this is a much larger image here, right? Compared to this one. Let me copy image location. So this is the image that is on the website, and this one is the one that we set the parameters for sharing on social media. I do think this would be okay for Instagram, to be honest, an image of this size.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be better than what I'm downloading.
Okay, and I have some good news for you. The only difference is in the URL. This says profile here, and everything else is the same. Over here it says social media underscore. So you can extract this social media image. You can use this image. You could then save this. I don't know how you're posting to Instagram. You're saving to your computer or what?
Yeah, I save to my computer, then I forward an email to my iPad and then download it. And
Okay.
because
Right, because from Instagram you have to post it from your mobile device. That's the nature of Instagram.
And to add to that, Jason, just so you know, profile photo and the logo, there are limits. All those get stored. All that takes bandwidth. But the multi-photo, which is basically photo albums like properties and product, or the single photo posts, which are like coupons and so forth, those have much higher limits where you do get in the thousands. I think the default is 760. 95% of cases, people share a recipe, or they share a deal, or they share a property. Very rarely do they share profile listings themselves. But I understand, of course, Blair, in your case, it may be different. But you are able in those files. I know that you saw that it reached the limit there, Jason, but you can go into the same place you were in the admin, scroll below, and you can change those settings right there. Single post limit, multi-photo post limit. You can make it 1080 just like Pinterest wants, which is fantastic.
Right. Gotcha.
So I'm going to share this link in the chat with you, just so you can access it at a later time, Blair. Let's put it in the chat here. I'm going to put this social media image. Again, it is a workaround. You get a little bit larger size image this way. I think it would be fine for Instagram based on how you said you're using it.
Perfect.
All right. And Blair, one more thing, and I didn't want to bring it up, but I'm sure there's a lot of people. We have it on our radar. I know we've been saying it for a while, to get the coupon codes working with upgrades. So we appreciate your patience with that, and thank you for bearing with us as we work on that update.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks, Jason.
All right, you're welcome. All right, guys, I think that will wrap it up for this edition of Webinar Wednesday. It was a great joy to be with you guys today. Don't forget about Logo Joy, where you can create your own professional logo. The contest of the week, for those of you who may have joined us a little bit later, all you need to do is go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Brilliant Directories. The first post we have there, it's that orange image. Just respond to the New Year's post we have, and next webinar we'll choose a winner. You can win $500 in Brilliant Directories credits. Just like, comment, and share the post. We'll choose a random winner next webinar. And also, on behalf of the entire Brilliant Directories family, once again, Happy New Year's. We want to make sure this is a prosperous year for everyone. And keep joining in on the webinar Wednesdays. Participate in the community forums. And if you have more questions that we didn't get to this webinar, please join our LinkedIn Marketing Strategy Network. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/LinkedIn. It's free to join. We can continue the conversation there together. So on behalf of Patrick, Gabe, myself, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and we hope to see you in the next webinar. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, guys.